Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel and welcome back to the videos we've been doing on double XP. So this video is going to be a little bit different. So what we're going to be doing is kind of doing a video based on something which I think is huge value for money in terms of your oddments, and also how this item can greatly affect your double XP prep. So what I'm talking about in this video is going to be Dwarven toolboxes, and then also while we're sort of demonstrating the use of the Dwarven toolboxes, what are my best uses for it and what I enjoy using it for. So the Dwarven toolbox, you can buy a small one for 500 oddments, so it's a little bit more than your standard treasure hunt key. Now I've been wanting to do this video ever since the Christmas event, because with the Christmas event everyone's had a big surplus of oddments come in. Oddments were a big reward from that, and I just want to show you guys, apart from treasure hunt keys, which on the correct promotion is still in my opinion the best use of oddments, another very good use of oddments if you wanted to do it this way. So with the small Dwarven toolboxes, there are events where you can get large or medium, and there are also promotions which also have these toolboxes as well. So what they are basically related to the Dwarven tools. So there are now 5 Dwarven tools: the Chain Axe, Ramhammer, Extractor, Excavator and Harvester. Now on a double XP, Dwarven tools don't work, because Dwarven tools give you 2 options. You can either get no resources and double XP, or no XP and double resources. Now what I'm going to be focusing on, yes, it's really good for other methods. It's particularly good for the woodcutting as well on bamboo. But we're going to be focused on the Harvester. Now, because I'm 200 mil and also because player-owned farms exist, converting your XP into extra resources just means you're going to make an awful lot more profit. Now, for each one of these small harvesters, if we power this up, you are going to get an option to pick either XP mode or resource mode. Now, we want resource mode because this will give us extra mushrooms, herbs, grapes, anything which you can farm. It can give access to double XP. So per one small Dwarven toolbox, you're going to get 100 charges, and these can be added on to total charges as well. So my Dwarven harvester in the bank currently has 511 charges, so we're going to whack that on top as well. So this is what I'm saying for the video, is that with oddments you can use them on things like Dwarven tools and get a huge benefit from it as well. Now the keys are really good for a promo, really good as well, and probably get you better XP if you're on a multiplier or a better promo. What I'm sort of saying with a harvester is you can convert your oddments into extra GP. So this is going to make us extra herbs, extra stuff from farming, which is going to be huge profit towards the end. So what we're going to do is do a herb run, because again, so what the other side of this video is going to be is items I'm gathering on my herb run, extra run, farm run, just for double XP, because it's going to be extra profit for what we're doing. So as part of my main series, I've really started to get back onto the herb grind. It's very worthwhile, and the money I made last month just from simply doing herb runs, admittedly with a harvester, I made about 200 mil, and even then I'd say there were parts of the day I'd slack off pretty hard. So in terms of me doing my herb run, I use a couple of things a bit different. I use the Greater Runic Staff, which you guys continuously ask me about. So basically what this is, it's a reward from Runespan where you can store one spell in the staff. I always choose to do the remote farming, because it means if ever I want to do some skilling activities, or if I'm basically really into farming, I will always make sure I can check on my crops, and basically like make sure to heal them as well, so you can actually cure them of disease if you are remote or if you're somewhere else doing another form of skill. So basically what the Dwarven tool does is give you double herbs. It works on top of the Juju farming potion, and also works on top of the Green Fingers aura as well, which is what I've activated. So we basically have 20 minutes to utilize the Green Fingers aura as much as possible, because this will help us with all of our other items as well. So in terms of this video, in case you've not got what we're sort of aiming at, I'm showing you how good a Dwarven harvester is, but also how you can use this in the build up to double XP to make extra profit with farm runs and basically farm collecting. Because with some items as well, you can get double resources even once it's grown. Trees sort of regrow, bushes regrow. So if you plant them once, that is basically them done. You can continuously go and get them again. So if you can afford them, or if you've got the materials to make them, patch bombs are so good for making farm runs even quicker than possible. Sometimes nowadays, because there's so many herbs, because of the harvester, you do have to do 2 doses of farming potions, especially if you're using extra seeds for the spots as well. So in terms of farm run, this is basically how I've laid mine out. If you want to follow it, you can. Again, I do have plenty of videos based on farm runs and the extra farm run, which we're going to cover in this video. But this is all different ways for you to make some GP. That one's actually been cured of disease. And with farm runs especially, you can make this basically on the basis of every 90 minutes you can do the farm runs. The mushrooms are a little bit more, but I think the grapes work on the same sort of cycle as what the herbs do. And if you do these enough during the day, they just make you so much money. Herb runs have never changed. I've been doing herb runs ever since I was like, before I was 99 Slayer. I've been doing them for years, and it's probably how I've built my accounts out so well and made so much money. It's simply because everything I do is backed up with herb runs. So even in the past month or two, I've been doing so much mining. I've been making sure that in between every time I've finished a mining trip, I go to the bank, I make sure to go and do a herb run, because it takes something like 5-10 minutes, but it's going to make me like 3 mil. So it's worth it after a while, especially if you're buying your membership. Bonds are steep. So if you could do something like a couple of herb runs per day and do things like your ultra compost, your red sandstone, all these things, like it may take an hour total, but you could pretty much pay off your membership just by doing dailies. So yeah. Now what I'm going to do, just so you guys don't have to see it, and just so this video isn't like 15-20 minutes long, I'm going to finish the herb run, get everything sorted, and then we'll come back onto the next thing and why we're doing that next thing. So the next spot is going to do some juju potions. These really are worth doing, and it's definitely worth stocking up on the herb seeds as well, because these are insane profit. Admittedly, you have got to go and hunt the Jadinkos for the vines and stuff, but I sort of put the juju sort of herbs at minimum 20 to 25k each, providing you do the Samdine and Eugene seeds. Those are the two I basically stick to and rotate between. I'm having to currently take a bit of a time off farming these because I kind of buried through the seeds a lot quicker than what I thought. I was doing so many herb runs, I just couldn't keep up with like how many I was like farming with how many seeds I can get throughout the day. It's going to be my project for, I don't know if it's going to be this month or next month, to where I basically just hunt all of the vines I need. So that's going to be fun. Really going to enjoy a lot of hunter. I think I've worked out like I need to hunt something like 6,000 Jadinkos. But if that pulls in like 200 mil, I'm not going to complain. So yeah. So I'm going to farm both these patches. Again, I'm going to max out the amount of seeds. Does it really make a difference with these ones? I'm not sure. But I think it's worth doing it because obviously like you get a good minimum per seed fed. So there we go with the juju herbs. From 2 patches, we're going to get a total of 158, which isn't too bad at all. I'll try and keep all the items together on what we're going to get from all these runs and stuff, because I think it's a really good way to show you guys like what we're getting just from doing all this as well. So the next one we're going to get, and I do need the harvester for this, is going to be grapes. So grapes are by far one of my favourites. The plant box comes in really handy for this because we're going to have to use planks to do the grapevines. So I've not done grapevines in a little while, so let's see if I can remember the spots and where to go for it. So we've got 8 minutes left of the aura, and this and mushrooms are kind of the last 2 spots where we really want to get involved with this. But the juju ones, again, it does take a little while to get ready in terms of getting the seeds and just like continuously buying them. But if you get in a habit of it and doing it off the back of your farm run, you also use green fingers, so there is a chance you get some extra herbs with green fingers. And yeah, so grapevines for a while were hit and miss on if they were profit, because really you were reliant on the Syrah wine. Nowadays, the Guthix wine is very much a high valued wine as well. So the only one really you're struggling with, and is the one I'm filling my invo with, Zami is quite cheap. So that's about 1,000 coins each. What you're getting with this is not only huge profit, but you're going to get some really good cooking XP as well from fermenting the wine. So this is something we'll focus on a little bit later on. But basically I'm just going to go and do my grape runs now. If you've never done a grapevine spot, I think it is like in the 90s for farming, but you need to build the frame up and then you need to put the seeds on as well. Now before, the seeds used to be 40k each, which is where a lot of the costing of grapes have come into. But now they're 800 GP each. They are so cheap. And when you think that you've just paid off 3 of those seeds with 3 Zami grapes, everything else is just pure profit. These Guthix and Syrah are roughly about 30k each. So we've made like from that last grapevine like 400k. And if you do this from the 3 different patches, and I'm sure it's 3 different patches, and this is why Remote Farm is also very good, I can also check to see if that is the case. Yeah, there's Intrana, but we're not going to do Intrana. So I'm going to go and finish off the grapes as well, report to you guys afterwards, and then we're going to get ready for mushrooms, and then we're going to go on to the final bit of this as well. I told you guys this is pretty heavy on terms of where you can use the harvester, but again, like all this is just extra profit. It might come to a point where you have to sort of think where's the best use for it. Me personally, I do think the grapes and the herbal habitat for herbs are better sort of uses for it, just because they're going to make you more profit. They're worth more, whereas the herbs, yes, it's really nice, but I just think a 6k herb, and if we're going to be very sort of like tight on charges and very conservative with where we're going to use our charges, 100% grapes and herbal habitat herbs are where it's going to shine the most and get you the most profit. At the minute, because of the Valentine promotion from last year, I still have loads of Dwarven tools left. That's why I use them for my herbs, because it's the only way I'm going to sort of get through them and use them for profit. Nowadays, now I'm going to start doing more grape runs and I'm doing my herbal or habitat stuff. Maybe I hold back on them, but again, it's whatever you want to use them for, whether you want to burn them through quick or use them to get the most value. If you're going to use them for the most value, definitely do them on God Grapes, because that is where it's very good. Don't discount the herbal habitat. So if we go and take 5 planks, build this. 60 Zami grapes though is pretty incredible for a single run. We've got 20 grapes per patch. And even though we've come in with a total of 46 of the others grapes, you're thinking 30k each, that's still 1.2 mil. So yeah, that's done with that. They are all grown. So next we're going to move on to mushrooms. So mushrooms are really good for a couple of reasons. One, they are a very niche. I think with mushrooms, people struggle with volumes on them quite a lot because not a lot of ways for them to come into the game. They can only really be grown. And also as well, you're going to get the mushrooms for player-owned farms as well. So you'll be able to get the mushrooms you can farm. So there's 3 spots for this. So the first one is going to be Canvas, and then we're going to go to the one in Tyron, and then we're going to go into the city of as well. So that then ticks off mushrooms, and that's going to be pretty much the end of our aura once we've done that. And then the other things we can do, which again, I don't mind just skipping and rushing through while I go and do it, is collecting your bushes. And for that, we're going to be getting Primal Pulp, which again is such a good way to make some GP. And then finally, it's going to be running around the fruit tree spots and then getting all of our coconuts. So as you can see, the mushrooms are absolutely flying into the invo, so we'll need to do this quite a lot. Now again, like we mentioned before, mushrooms are at a point at the minute where they're pretty much the same price as herbs. It's whether you want to use your harvester on this as well, because it is using a fair few charges. So no mushrooms from that trip, but in terms of how many we've got, 121 mushrooms, which is crazy. So if we go back to the bank, now this is, well, you know what, I'm going to take the harvester with us just in case. So basically, I'm just going to come to you guys towards the end. All I'm going to do is go on a tree run and a bush run, but I'm very conscious for this video is getting on a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll go and sort everything out on this side, go and do all the spots, and then we'll come back and run through at the end. Now, just before I do so, if you are going to do bush runs for the Primal Pulp, a Wolf Tinger's sort of bonus effect, it will give you double yield from bushes. So as you can see, the lychee flies into the invo, and again, you can do different things. You don't have to do lychee for Primal Pulp just because I am. I think you can do a few things at a couple different levels as well, which gives different varieties and amounts of Primal Pulp depending on your herb level. But as you can see, from 2 spots, we're already at 60 lychees. So lychee done, it's 130. So one final thing for us to go and do, we're going to go and do a full circle of the fruit tree patches. 4 coconuts, just show you guys how many charges we've used on a standard run, and then report through what we think towards the end. Again, if you were interested on the bushes and the trees and all the other stuff I've done in the video, I will link to other videos which sort of go through all the methods which we've done in this video. So here we are, the final one, and this probably took half hour to do all this, and don't get me wrong, I realise that is a fair bit of time, but if you were to do something like this once and maybe like do like a couple herb runs a day, you can make a lot of profit quick with these runs. Once we've finished this, we can just price check everything. So again, as you can see, decent stack. The grapes I can't price check because they're not wines, but I'd probably say they're 1.2 mil. In terms of charges, we've used a total of probably 300 charges. So this is about 1.2k oddments. Again, you're probably better off focusing on the juju herbs and the grapes, because these 3 here are probably like 20 to 25k. The other stuff like the lychee is a little bit wasteful. I shouldn't have really used it on lychee. The coconuts, again, not bad, 7.4k each. They're pretty decent. And the mushrooms as well, they're about 6.6. So again, pretty decent items to use on. These are a bit more lower tier compared to these three here. These three are where you'll really start getting the benefits of the harvester. But in total, this is a probably best part of 7.5 mil run, which for 30 minutes work really isn't bad. All these items are in demand for double XP. So while this video was mainly aimed to show you what the Dwarven Harvester can do, the fact that this run can be done even without the Harvester, you just get sort of like less results. But you can cram these runs in before double XP, gather these materials, gather these like farming stuff, and get them piled up nice and high. Things you can do beforehand as well is convert the coconuts into coconut milk. You can then convert the lychee into primal pulp, which will make even more profits. And also, if you want, you can turn the dwarf wheat into dwarf wheat unfinished with a partial potion producer, or just someone to go and exchange for a decent price. But if you were to do enough of these during the month, you would rack up some serious profit very quick. But that's going to be in this video. Again, I know it's a little bit of a weird one where we've sort of covered the Dwarven tools and then also done like a double XP thing, but I thought it sort of meshed quite well. And it blended into a reason why the Dwarven Harvester is so good. The other ones are decent. Like I said, the Chain Axe is good, but for me, the Dwarven Harvester is the standout out of a lot. But that's going to be in this video. Obviously, we're coming with a lot more double XP stuff. Double XP is going to very much be around for the next couple of weeks, so we're going to focus in on the content. Make sure to hit it hard and make sure to keep pumping the videos out for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next one.